No time for niceties, gentlemen. I have grave news. A government inspector is on his way from the capital. A government inspector, incognito, with secret instructions.
An inspector from the capital?
Coming to our town?
Just when things were going so well.
I know. I dreamt last night I was in my study when something caused me to look up from my desk. There, at the window, were two enormous rats pressing their noses against the pane. And they slithered in, sniffed around, sniggered an evil laugh, and stole away as they had come.
Were they the rats from Shapinsky's restaurant? Because the rats from Shapinsky's are enormous, even for Shapinsky's.
Oh, I tell you, it was a nightmare.
Oh, you hope it was a nightmare. Those rats from Shapinsky's restaurant.
How did you come into possession of this information about an inspector?
I received a letter from Himkov, my brother-in-law. It reads, Dear Anton Antonovich, a government inspector has been sent to investigate various provinces with special emphasis on the towns in your district. I know you're an honest public servant whose selfless sacrifice would humble a nun. But even the incorruptible have been known to cut corners when the world is round. So beware of this inspector, for he may show up at any moment. In other words, your sister has gained so much weight. I've taken up the cello, so I'll have something smaller to hold on to. But think how smug I was when they lowered the boom on some other town, some other mayor.
But why us? Why now?
I know why. The country is on the brink of war, and the government wants to see if we're prepared for an invasion.
Who would invade us? We are in the middle of nowhere. Drive out of town in any direction, and you won't hit the border for years.
It would be too obvious to invade at the border. A real crafty enemy would invade in the middle.
The point isn't why he's coming. The point is he is coming, so we've got to prepare. First, the hospital. We have so much money to build. How many patients are there?
None. The rooms are so small, we can't fit the beds through the doors. Your cousin, a contractor, never really grasped the concept of scale.
Well, get a carpenter and build some beds in the rooms.
And what size patients shall we put in them? These are tiny rooms we're talking about here.
How tiny?
Peshky the dwarf might be able to fit through for squats.
All right. Take the kids from the kindergarten and put them inside the rooms. Then change the sign over the door and say it's a children's hospital.
And what about our good doctor here? I know we got a good deal in the exchange program from whatever country he's from, but no one can understand a thing he says. Beltin sprung, ke, puka puka, boom.
If he doesn't speak the language, how does he treat the patients?
Well, we've had to do away with treatment. Current policy is if the patient's meant to recover, he recovers. If he's meant to die, well, he dies rather quickly.
And the good doctor goes along with this policy.
The nurse has taught him a sentence.
Let nature take its course.
It works surprisingly well with the more religious patients.
Thank you. Next, the court. Judge, your court is full of shit.
That's a matter of opinion.
I'm talking about the geese your bailiff is raising in the jury box. That place is hip, high, and dung. I want them out.
Oh, but the goslings are about to hatch. Oh, and the sound they make when they come out of the eggs is just so cute. I will have my bailiff see to them at once.
Thank you. And tell him to sober up while he's at it. The other morning, he said hello to my face, and I was drunk for the rest of the day.
He can quit the bottle, but the smell is here to stay. When he was a baby, his nursemaid hid spirits in her bosom. Whenever she got confused, he was breastfed pints of vodka. He's oozed with the stuff ever since.
Thank you. That was very attractive. Next, school.
What's wrong with the schools?
School's fine. The problem is the teachers. That mumbly one with the stutter and the stammer?
Oh, the speech instructor.
The speech instructor. The other day, I saw him at the blackboard rearranging the letters of the czar's name to spell dirty words. I want him fired.
Fired? You can't fire a teacher. Have you ever read a teacher's contract? It's not possible.
There must be some provisions for dismissal. You must have a morals clause.
Last week, I found the poetry instructor in the laboratory with a book of sonnets and a goat. And I have to write an apology letter, all because I didn't knock.
All right, calm down, please. Here's an idea. Send the teachers into the woods and tell them to come up with a new curriculum. We'll never see those bastards again. The last item on the agenda, what I'd like to call unlicensed entrepreneurial spirit.
Excuse me, are we discussing bribes? Because if we're discussing bribes, I would like to say I'm in favor of accepting whoever offers me the most. But I never accept the money, of course. I only accepted farm animals and game.
Bribe is bribe.
Not if you eat it.
It's a bribe if you eat it. It's a bribe if you drink it. It's a bribe if you spend a whole hour with it and you tell you've always been attracted to powerful men, but I have another appointment at 8.
Is a bribe if you wear it, like a silk shawl or a big floppy hat with a feather?
You're referring to my wife. I will remind you. She's obliged to accept the occasional ceremonial trinkets. At least her and I believe in God.
Can I help it if I'm a free thinker?
They knew in Petersburg the kind of things that you thought, you'd realize how free you truly are. The cells of the Tsar are filled with atheists, just like you.
The fact that I'm agnostic has no bearing on my ability to assess all sides of every argument.
I thought you were an atheist.
I was, but it didn't leave me much room to maneuver. As agnostic, I'm free to the highest bidder.
This is exactly why the
Yeah,
government
he's right,
inspector
it's
is
horrible. That's all I want.
Enough! Please! We are all guilty. Only the particulars are different. A litigant wins his case if he lets the judge ingest the odd chicken or the odd goose.
And look at the price I've paid.
A failing student is made head of his class if his father donates a new gymnasium.
And we have the 6 finest gymnasiums in the district.
A patient at the hospital is given a better room if they drop a kopeck on the admitting desk.
And if it's small.
Forgive my tardiness, everyone. You've heard the news, no doubt, about the Government Inspector.
How'd you find out?
I opened your letter. Oh, not for any bad reasons. I just wanted to see what was in it.
Well, what's your assessment of the situation then? Yes, tell us who you think will invade us.
Oh, I don't know. But I hope it's the French. Oh, what I would give to be invaded by Frenchmen.
When did you start opening my letters?
I open everyone's letters. It's nothing personal. Oh, yes. Your mother died. Sorry.
You read every letter that goes through your office.
Oh, yes.
Keep record of them?
Usually I keep the letters.
Your Excellency! Mayor! I have news! No, I have news. We agreed it was my news. We did not. Oh, you lie! I do not! You do! I don't! You do and you know you do!
Stop! If one of you does not tell me what's going on, I'm going to have both of you arrested for being irritating.
A government inspector is investigating our town.
We know that.
You do?
How'd you guys find out?
The postmaster?
Gossip is fun.
So you know about the inspector from St. Petersburg?
Yes, we do. We do.
And the secret instructions and the incognito?
Yes, we do.
Dumb idiot.
And that he's at the inn even as we speak?
Repeat that?
The government inspector. He's at the inn as we speak.
Start from the beginning.
Well, Peter Ivanovich and I agreed to meet at the blacksmith's at 11. But when we got to the blacksmith, we ran into the innkeeper's wife. She's pregnant. Did you know? She and Blas are hoping she gives birth to a little innkeep.
She better hope she doesn't give birth to a little blacksmith.
And she reminded us about the lunch special at the inn. It's Thursday, so it's pork. So we go to the inn and sit at our usual table when Blas comes up and says, "Let me do Blas. You always do Blas with the list. Just with the S word."
Say so Blas says.
So Blas says. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I must see to this fellow from the city. And in walks the man himself. Not handsome, but not ugly, not flashy, but not dowdy. Well-cut coat, city shoes, rolls in as if he owned the place.
Did he act like an inspector?
Did he ever? He passes our table and says, "I can tell you like the pork."
And I can tell that seeing you walk down the street.
So we nod, we say, yes, we do like the pork. And what does he do? He writes it down.
When did he check into the inn? This morning?
He has been here a week.
What does the stamp on this letter say?
15th of the month.
This month or last month?
Well, it got here,
You
didn't it?
held on to this information for over a month.
I just opened it today. We had a backlog.
Spetsnov, what have I done this week?
Evicted the corporal's widow, had the corporal's widow jailed for vagrancy, flogged the corporal's widow.
All right, not so bad. Clean up anything we haven't cleaned up already for whatever reason we haven't given. Then place an officer in every corner. Where's Pugovitz?
Drunk.
How?
He went out on a drunken disturbance and came back drunk.
Well, throw a bucket of water on him.
We did. The bucket knocked him out.
All right. Then dress Flagel, the mute boy, in Pugovitz's uniform and place him outside the inspector's window at 3-minute intervals. Every time he turns the corner, change his hat and give him a new wig. The inspector will think we have the largest police force in the entire country. And please, don't leave any eyesores unattended. That decrepit fence outside Kropotkin's shop, tear it down and throw it in the dump.
We don't have a dump.
Where have the people been throwing their trash?
Behind the fence at Kropotkin's.
All right, then tear down Kropotkin's. That's the new dump. And anything else that's fallen down, put a sign up that says, "Men at work, future sight is something much better than what's already here." You, go back to the post office and open any letters and complaints written to the captain. I want them diverted to me at once.
Sir, we are the Postal Service. They'll be diverted in due time.
Thank you. I need my hat.
What are you planning to do?
Form a delegation. It's time we met this government inspector. And the only one I want with me is you.
What about me?
Wait, I thought he was you. I need someone who can point out this person to me. What's his name? Alestikov. God above. I swear on the life of my wife and my daughter's virginity. If you give this one to me, I promise I'll never accept another bribe again. In church. On Sunday. So, it's time we show this government inspector the kind of town he's dealing with.
Yeah!
Natural. Mother, if they scraped off all the makeup you're wearing, they'd find a head underneath the size of a walnut.
I know, it's a hat box, I know. Why do you look like a lamp in a whorehouse?
I'm attired to greet the government inspector.
How'd you find out?
I have an understanding with the Postal Service. So, is he an officer? Who's his family? Oh! How much money does he have?
Why are you so concerned about his pedigree?
You may not have noticed, but our daughter is a girl in need of a husband. And I will not have her marrying some local idiot with a big forehead! No offense, Peter Ivanovich. Peter Ivanovich has the forehead. I have the lip.
Now is not the time to be thinking about Maria's happiness. I've had to plug a lot of holes today, and I don't want either of you to do anything that could bring the wrath of the Tsar to this family. Do you understand me? Oh, unforeseen outcome of my humid youth.
Yes, Papa.
Do you understand me? Oh, old and clotted thing that was once warm.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Where's my hat? Let's go.
Mashenka, go upstairs and change into something fetching and snug that shows a bit of skin.
I promised Father I wouldn't do anything to bring shame upon us.
And I promised to love, honor, and obey him, and look where it got me. A town where people eat soup with their hands. Now hurry, Mashenka. Hurry! I hate you, Mother! I hate you! I hate you!
wasn't posing. I was just making sure I looked presentable the day before, in which I shall no longer be able to present myself in front of anyone ever again.
Sure, you're gonna end it all rather than bring shame upon your good name.
What, you don't believe I'll kill myself?
Not so long as there's one mirror left in Russia, not so long as there's one soft bed, one bottle of brandy, and one woman who still believes men can change.
Joseph, I'm at the end of my tether here. That cavalry officer down at the bar took everything I had in one roll of the dice. I pawned my cufflinks, my stick pin, my cane, and I can't even scrape enough money to pay for a meal for this ghastly little room. Now the innkeeper won't let me reside in my credit anymore. Should I not kill myself?
No, you make a pretty good argument.
I'm sorry to leave you like this, Asa. You're my only friend, you know that, right?
Well, I'm not your friend. I'm your servant.
You certainly behaved like a friend.
Well, you misunderstood the signals.
You know, my father hoped some time away from the city would serve me for the better. I vowed to him, I'll live frugally, I'll sleep under the stars. Well, the only stars I slept under were those carnival twins from Pinsk. Why do I always have to have the best rooms, the best carriages, drinks for everyone, charge it to me? When will I learn?
You won't. You're gonna kill yourself. Here, let me help.
But don't you think there's some meaning I can gain from all this, even now at the end, moments before my personal oblivion?
No, life is short. Then you kill yourself.
But the truth must be known that I'm nothing but a low-level government clerk from Saratov, whose poor father has indulged in far too often, and whose tongue, once loosed by liquor, can't help but exaggerate his station.
Trust me. I'll spread the word once you're gone.
But wouldn't killing myself be taking the coward's way out?
No, you're being very brave. Here, let me do it for you.
Okay, Asa. Perhaps I must suffer first.
Fine. The first shot will leave a painful wound. Then I'll beat you to death with a rock.
Oh, no, Asa, you're too kind. But no.
We do this every day.
From now on, no more drinking, no more gambling, no more the pretense that I'm someone better than I am. From this point forth, I shall lead an honest, simple, and courageous life.
What do you think you're doing? If I was as tall as a real person, you'd have killed me.
Then your diminutive to stature would be as fortuitous as your sudden entrance, as I am quite hungry.
My master already told you, you don't pay the bill, you can't eat the food. You already owe 200 rubles for room, meal, and liquor, and that doesn't count the bullet holes.
Have I not explained that I'm awaiting a very large check from my rich father to erase all of my debts?
And have I not explained that I'm awaiting a glistening Cossack to rump whom I love bed? No money, no food, and if you don't pay, he'll send for the authorities and put you in jail.
I must hold my temper and keep my newfound humility. Peasant, tell your master that sustenance freely given is an act of charity that shineth with goodness on he who giveth, as much on he for whom it is giveth. Tell him maybe a stinking little swine like him could go without food for days, but most people can't feed off their fat like a hog in heat. Get all that?
That in the spittle.
Master, I know you usually don't venture into the sunlight until it's nearly dark, but I think we should get on the road.
What, you don't like it here?
Well, I'd call it a one-horse town, but the town horse died in the middle of the street 2 days ago.
Once I finish this meal, we'll find a way to get back to the city. Ah, St. Petersburg, how I miss it. You know, in St. Petersburg, if you don't have enough money for your cab, you say, wait here, cabby. Then you dash to the front door of the house and out the back door of the house, and as long as it's not your house, you should be fine.
Master says this is the last time.
Tell your master that I'm very grateful, and I'm sorry I slapped him in front of the staff. I really shouldn't have done that. I should have slapped him in private. Now, what have we?
It's Thursday, so we say it's poor.
This has teeth marks in it.
You're lucky it doesn't have the teeth.
Someone's already eaten this?
Well, the pig didn't fight itself.
Oh, God, what else is there?
Cabbage pie, cabbage soup, something brown made from cabbage and cabbage.
Here now I went from table to table noting what other people were eating, and none of them would give this slop.
If you don't want
Oh,
it.
no, I won't let you foist this on unsuspecting guests. Oh, it's so tough. You can barely chew it.
You're obviously not the first person to say that.
Better see if the cab's gone bad. Well, it's impossible to tell if the cab's gone bad. Here, take this. Soup's rather good. Surely it's chicken.
No,
Then why does it have feathers in it?
because the rats in the kitchen like to wear feathers.
The mayor's here to see the gentleman.
So bring him up.
You bring him up.
I don't take orders from your mother.
And I'm your master's wife, so I'm not below you anymore.
You want someone you've been below to bring it up? Call the black
police outside, too. See that one? He and his three twin brothers have been fined 6 times.
That's 18 policemen! They come to arrest me for slapping an innkeep and non-payment of bills. If I only had time to reload my pistol, how am I going to kill myself now?
You could finish the soup.
I reload the pistol. Austin, hold them off until I can do this.
Right.
I'm Alexander Vishwestikov. Is your master in?
Well, that depends on a lot of variables.
Get out the way.
No! Ow, 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 ow. Oof.
Sir!
Sir.
Sir,
Sir.
sir, my friend couldn't come.
Please sit.
We prefer to stand.
No, I insist.
Then we'll sit. I am Anton Antonovich Shavaznik Mahanovsky, mayor here, and this is Peter Ivanovich Dobchinsky, one of our local landowners.
We like pork.
They're trying to throw me off my guard by employing pork-based non-sequiturs.
He's trying to keep me off of my balance by talking to this wall? So my spies tell me you're from the capital.
Oh yes, I am from the capital, barely.
Traveling about,
From town to town,
seeing sights,
here and there.
and you've been in our town a whole week.
I actually haven't seen much of the town beyond this room.
Well, today we were hoping to entice you out of this room to see some of the sights you might have missed.
Such as...
Hospital, school, jail.
No!
He's so firm, so commanding.
I think I wet myself.
He's obviously a man with a quick trigger. I must assuage him somehow.
He's obviously a man who likes toying with his prey. I must throw myself upon his mercy.
Good, sir.
Before we go any further, this is not what
Not what you hope to find, I know. When I received word that you're at the inn, I had to come over straight away.
How do you know I was here?
Last told us.
What was that?
Last told us.
Is there someone inside of you?
Hello.
Good heavens, there's 2 of you. Then at lunch I thought I was hallucinating. How do people tell you apart?
I have the broken nose. What we were trying to tell you is that blasphemy innkeep told us about you.
He did?
So you see, I had no choice but to come over straight away.
Well, understand me. Every other town I visited, I've had no problems as long as I had money in my pocket.
Money in his pocket? He's letting me know he takes bribes.
Perhaps if I confess to owing the 200 rubles, he'll go easy on me. Good sir, I see you have quite the constabulary patrolling outside. Is this your normal practice?
When dealing with a case such as yours,
And what would you imagine the outcome of such a case would be like?
I'd imagine there'd be a price to pay.
And if I were to confess that this price were 200 rubles, you'd say,
Take it. Call it a loan.
alone.
That's right.
We loan money to everyone who comes to our town. That's why we put in our welcome signs. The town that loans.
Wait, so you're giving this to me?
Legally, no. In actuality, yes. It's a new reimbursement program we've initiated to bring people to our town. Sort of, if you're willing to come here, we will pay you to be here. Any other expenses you've incurred during your stay, I'd be happy to defray.
Well, the lunch isn't paid for.
You ordered soup with feathers?
Oh my God, they gave him the rat soup? Sir, I apologize for the inn, the staff, the entire town.
Because of the soup?
No, our town is known for our soup. Before we were the town that loans, we were a soup town. Sir, you and I are men of the world.
What about these 2?
They're in their own worlds.
Well, understand me, in every other town I visited...
Sir, take pity, please. Anything you've heard about me is a lie. The merchants are cheats, the peasants are scum, and the widow said I flogged her. She flogged herself. Say, how much was lunch? 200 rubles?
200?
And then maybe another 200 more to cover up the tip. Take it, please.
Are you still here?
Good woman! Go below and tell your master he is to fetch a special repast for this lovely gentleman. Your finest cheese, figs, pears, cutlets, salmon, and wine. Red or white?
Oh, yes.
Who's gonna pay?
It's on the house.
Whose house? Yours? You don't pay your bills either. Don't pay my bills.
The city will pay for it. Now, get out! Get out! Bye!
That was impressive.
Yes, he's never better than when he's shouting at women.
I really appreciate the offer of lunch, but after eating that meal, I really think this place should get cited.
Call it done. There will be a citation and a fine. Nope, while we're at it, let's just close the kitchen.
That might be going a bit too far.
No, a man of your station deserves much better. If only. Suddenly I find myself so shy. If only you would do me the honor of staying with me.
Would there be other people there?
The guest room's large, the bed's comfy, and my wife's cooking. We'll eat out. Besides, there are bandits out on the road, and I wager you do not have a pistol.
What? How can I refuse such generous and improbable people? It would be my honor.
Splendid!
Well, free lunch, a visit to the mayor's, and new friends. And think you'd come to arrest me for slapping that innkeep.
Tell you what, we'll go downstairs, eat a beautiful lunch, close down the kitchen, and then on the way out, we'll all slap the innkeep.
Our guest is a sophisticated and cultural gentleman from the capital. Put out the crystal spittoon. Better? Oh, much! I still prefer the black. Well, think of yellow as a very light shade of black. And you're wearing pink. Pink makes a man think of youth and beauty, and the youth of a rose on a summer's day. The blush is off the rose, and the rose is off the bush. I will not have that kind of talk when the inspector arrives. Men don't like a woman with a tongue like yours. Oh, really? Ask around. Priapna. Greetings, Anna Priapna. What have you got on your nose?
A bandage? He was listening at a keyhole.
With his nose?
Oh, you are stupid, aren't you? You're looking very lovely today, Maria Antonovna.
Go away.
All right.
So, tell us what he's like, this man from St. Petersburg.
Oh, very cultured, very sophisticated.
Does he speak French?
He has the look of a man who speaks French, and if not, I bet he speaks Russian in a French accent.
What difference does it make to you? You don't speak French?
Of course I do.
On peu. So, what else do you know about him? Is he married?
He hasn't mentioned a wife, but I've never met a man away from one who did.
I'll find out. I can spot an available man from 1,000 yards away with the sun in my eyes.
That's how I am with cheese. There's a man outside who's working for the fellow who's coming to stay. I'll go get him. Here he is.
Where's the guest room?
I told him we don't have a
Of course we do. The guest room that looks just like the room my husband and I sleep in.
Grisham will have the footman take him up. But
No, footman who looks like you. My man, I'm not asking you to tell tales out of school here, but your master, very high up in terms of status, isn't he?
He would be loath to admit just how high.
Rank?
Very.
Has he known the joys of the conjugal bed?
By himself or with others?
What kind of eyes does he like in a woman?
Open, but it's not a requirement.
Boys, where are you?
It's them!
Oh, je suis très fatiguée dans mon derrière. Entrez, por favor. Open the door.
This takes us to a different level entirely. And that's a pink dress.
Oh, bienvenue, mademoiselle petite.
Wife?
Yep.
And this is our daughter, Maria.
Hello.
Give me your hand.
Hello, here's my hand.
And Grusha, our maid. Go ahead. Go.
I know, Grusha, you'll never wash that hand again.
Never will, never has.
Would you like to sit?
Would I? You know, this has been quite the afternoon. None of the other towns I visited showed me much of anything.
We took our friend on a little tour today.
Ah, what did you like most of our many attractions?
The hospital, maybe? Crouching down to look at all those little sick kids in their kennels, that was a lot of fun. You'll be able to cure them, won't you?
Let nature take its course.
Wise wisdom.
What else did you like?
Ooh, the sports building with the little school attached, that was cool. But why was that goat roaming the halls?
Oh, he's our valedictorian.
That'll show the naysayers. And I can't leave out the courthouse. I'm sorry for letting my cigar inside. That fellow who caught fire, is he all right?
Oh yes, my bailiff. He was put out almost immediately.
You've never seen a man go up into flames that quickly. Struck the match and whoosh!
Whoosh! Whoosh!
Do tell your bailiffs that I enjoyed the snack he prepared before he went up into flames. What was that again?
Goose.
Delicious.
There's plenty more where that came from.
All this falls under the mayor's purview.
In a town this size, everything's the mayor's business.
It does seem a lot for one man to handle. How do you manage it all?
Work, brains, God. Often I'll pray at night. Bring it in, everybody. Bring it in. Dear God, how can I be a better mayor?
Amen.
How can I better supervise city services, cut down on bureaucratic waste and fraud? I don't ask for much, like the described posts of the Order of St. Vladimir.
Yes, please.
No! So long as there's an acceptably low level of public urination.
And if God is still listening after all of that, does he grant you this lack of reward you so fervently don't ask for?
Public service was a calling, and I'm the one who heard a call.
Come get it. Oink, oink, oink.
Well, you don't have to tell me about government work. I have a position myself. I even write about it sometimes.
Oh, what sort of things do you write?
Oh, just little verses and poems to pass time in the office.
Would you favor us with one?
Wait! Stop. Think a while. Where did I put that file?
So, what's it like to be a sophisticated gentleman stuck in a country backwater?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, me? Oh, it's not so bad, especially when the country has such nice topography. With the deep hills and wet mossy glens.
Would you excuse me a moment, please?
By all means. Second door on the Well, has he said why he's here? How high up is he?
He won't say. He's keeping up the pretense that he's some low-level clerk on the way to visit his father in Saratov.
Well, he has to say that. He's incognito.
Well, there has to be some way to make him spill the beans.
My bailiff filled him with 6 mugs of beer. You would have thought that would make him spill something.
I tried to give him an opening, but he wouldn't budge.
Oh, fine. I'll give him an opening.
What was that?
Nothing. Love you.
He's coming back!
Quick, make it look like we weren't talking about him!
Why, you're back! And look at our poor manners. We haven't offered you an aperitif.
Oh, that's all right. I don't think I can take another one of those beers.
Oh, contraire! No cerveza por tú! My dear, make our guest a cordial, will you?
Certainly.
That's all right. Seriously. I mean, too much imbibing and, who knows what secrets I'll divulge.
This isn't what one would call imbibing. Just one of our locally made wines, and very proud of it we are too.
I still don't think I should.
It's at this time that we make our daily toast to the Tsar.
The Tsar. Can't really refuse a toast to him, seeing as it's just a tiny glass.
So, to the Tsar!
The Tsar!
The Tsar!
How was it?
Viscous, yet so bubbly.
Leave anything in a spittoon long enough, it ferments.
Anton, our guest's glass is empty.
Oh, really? That's all right.
And now we make our daily toast. To the Tsarina. You do the honors.
All right. To the Tsarina. Looks like the Tsar, only she doesn't wear a dress.
To the Tsarina! Looks like the Tsar, but she doesn't wear a dress. And now we make our daily toast to the late Tsar.
Yes, the late Tsar. He was a good Tsar, but he was late. So was his father, the late Tsar. As was all of the late Tsars that came after the ones before the ones after that.
To the late Tsar! He was a good Tsar, later than the ones after, the ones after that.
All right, bring on the hard stuff.
Vodka! To Russia!
To the place we walk on. You know, this has been the best town I've visited on my entire trip. This town one week, another the next. Some of those places were the vilest mud pits I've ever seen. Mud and dirt that gets wet and turns into mud. Some of those places I'd never go back.
Come on, you wouldn't give them a second chance?
I wouldn't have given them a first chance. I've been there before.
Oh, it all sounds terrible.
Oh, it is, but luckily I have my diversions. My writing.
Ah, yes, your poems.
Oh, not just prose too. Plays and novels.
You didn't mention them before.
Humble melody.
Well, we haven't read anything of yours.
Well, see, I don't write under my own name. Nom de plume.
You're not the Plume! Not the Plume's my favorite writer! What else have you written?
Have you read The Wealth of Nations?
I haven't, no.
That was mine. Oh, what about Sense and Sensibility?
Not yet.
Me neither. Oh, what about Eugene Onegin?
You mean Eugene Onegin? By Pushkin?
Hey, I'm not saying Pushkin didn't write some of it. We were strolling down the Nevsky one day and I said, hey, Push, how's the book? Ivan, I'm so blocked. Next thing you know, the duel, mine. The you loved me, I didn't love you, now I love you, but you can't have me bit, mine. The royalties that abuse him, but out of a grudge. He's actually working on a new book right now by himself. I just hope it's good enough.
Very good.
Yes, I wrote it. I wrote them all, and the strain is beginning to show. The pressures, the demands, the dinners, the teas, and opera openings. I once held a ball in my house. It's a big house. Actually, the ballroom is bigger than the house, but that's just because the architect was a really good dancer. We had a 700-pound watermelon. No! 700 pounds.
Most of it was water. Just a tiny bit of it was melon. After we ate it, we turned the rind into a swimming pool. My print and count friends say I'm too extravagant, but it's the only way I can find light and beauty to balance the demands of the department. The department, you know, that's what we call it. If I called it by its full name, it'd be too long and be too scary. The Department of... Or the Department of... And it doesn't matter how high up the ladder you climb or how many times the czars awarded you a medal or a kiss on both cheeks. He's a really good kisser, you know. The czar. Oh, but that really doesn't matter if the people don't care. The people, out there, causing their swill and feeding their food and only looking after themselves. Their selfish self-centeredness makes a highly placed government official with immunity from prosecution want to learn from his pals and scream at the faceless masses. You stupid faceless masses! Why don't you have faces? Are you stupid? You don't deserve the despotic tyranny we give you. You deserve a much lower level of despotic tyranny. Abandon hope all ye who enter me, for I am he who shall uncover the crimes and mete out the fearful punishment! Why are you all staring at me?
Oh my God! Everyone, step back! Sir, are you right?
Should we have the doctor examine him?
Good God, no. Do you want to kill him?
Got you guys, got you.
Sir, are you right? Please, sit.
Oh no, I can go like this for... Oh.
You're right.
My fine. I'd just be maybe sit down a little while. Need to go rest my head isn't upside down. Then more goose, more pork, and more toast. Charge it to me. Ivan Alexandrovich Chelestikov.
throws parties, runs the nation, and kisses the Tsar!
You don't think some of that was exaggerated by his being, drunk?
You know what they say, in vino veritas.
Well, vino or not, his veritas is very impressive.
I mean, there was something so wild about the way he kept looking at me. He wasn't looking at you. He was looking at me.
Why would he be looking at you?
I'm sure he looked at both of you. When he talked about the hills and the forest, he was looking at you. When he talked about the 700-pound melons, he was looking at you. What I don't understand is this person has so much power, yet he looks like some unformed, gelatinous baby thing. Take me back to the time when the frightening looks frightening, and the stupid and sick wore signs.
You must really like beauty sleep.
Yeah, it's a wonder he's ever awake.
So, tell us, do so many counts and princes really visit your master?
Come again?
Do so many counts and princes really visit your master and his soirees and his ballrooms and his palace where he entertains aristocrats from the literary and political circles?
respond. Since I don't know the details of my master's fabrications, I must be careful in how I answer, lest it do my master harm. Yes, they come in all the time. He's the most powerful man in Russia.
I knew it! Oh,
I bet he's intimate with kings and queens. Kings, queens, jacks, aces. That's his snore. I'd better check up on him. Last time I didn't roll him over and he sucked up the mattress.
Give him our greetings.
And from Maria, a kiss.
Sure, put it here.
Actually, it was more of a figure of speech.
Just do it. Wow, lips that long, you could have kissed him yourself.
Mashenka, I think it's time you and I had that, mother-daughter talk we keep putting off.
You are going to tell her about the birds and the bees now? That's like handing ammunition to a sniper! What are you doing? You sound like a herd of moose entering the lumberyard.
Sir, our training is to make loud noises as to intimidate the perpetrator and or give them time to escape.
Well, forget your training. The rules are changing even as we speak. From now on, I want every road coming into and out of town closed off at once. No one gets in without my say-so.
Yes, sir. Nobody gets in or out of town without your say-so unless they pay us.
What's the matter with you?
Sorry, sir. It's getting hard to get used to these new rules.
The town is to be sealed off completely. Same goes for this house. Anyone who tries to get up here to form a petition or complain, kick him down the stairs.
Yes, sir.
How's Pegovitz?
Still drunk.
Big star in a storm-tossed world.
Thank God he's not coming down yet.
Yes, gives us a moment to collect our thoughts.
I don't know why you're all so frightened of him.
You didn't see what he was like yesterday. Like the Inquisition, but strict.
It's very simple. If we want the inspector to go easy on us, we have to give him a little incentive.
Excuse me, are we discussing bribes again? Because I'm not used to this sudden abrasive euphemism.
We have to be able to claim innocence if questioned. We can't be overt about it.
Well, the one thing we can't do is bribe en masse.
Why not?
We'd be witnesses.
Aren't we witnesses now?
We haven't done anything illegal yet. It's only illegal if we go through with it.
Oh, so it's just a crime in retrospect.
The beauty of the law.
Why don't we say we received an envelope full of money with his name on it, and there's no return address? If it has his name on it, how do we know there's money inside? I opened it. Why does everyone look at me like that's some sort of problem? So, who would like to talk to him first? Why can't one of you do it? You're men of science. Well, the language barrier makes it far too dangerous. But I did teach the good doctor 3 phrases to say on my command. For example, if the inspector asks about the children you saw in the hospital yesterday,
Children seek no more. Kids up and about.
and if he asks about the recurrence of the disease,
It don't have a chance.
and when we're ready to go, I will tell the inspector that we have to attend to an expectant mother at Rastakovsky's dairy.
The cow is going to have baby.
What could possibly go wrong? It's him! Hide! We're in the closet.
Having memories of my childhood.
Exit one at a time.
Well, hurry though. The principal's pressing against me with his knee.
That is not my knee.
What a good night's rest. This isn't a bad town after all. It's nice to know that there's still places in this world where people will give you whatever you want just because they like you. I do wish I had some time alone with the mayor's daughter. She has that sullen come sultry, I don't care if you live or die attitude that screams, I like you, and I can't be bothered to move my facial muscles.
Pardon for intruding. Lyapkin Tyapkin, judge of the court.
Ah, yes, you were there last night when I was,
A bit under the weather.
Yeah, I'm afraid I have a low tolerance to mixing beer, wine, vodka, and garbage.
This is going to be harder than I thought. It's one thing to be bribed, but to bribe is a complete inversion of thinking.
I have no idea why he's come, but I'll pretend to be interested. So, how long have you been a judge? Since you were little?
It's been 20 years since my first election.
And you've been re-elected ever since?
Well, we stopped having elections after the first one, but this is agony. I must find a way to throw in the money without calling notice. Oh, look!
Hey, 200 rubles. And it's wet, like it was in the paw of a sweating yeti. And it fits. Now tell me, is this money yours?
How can a judge afford to walk around with money like that?
I don't know. I mean, you could be taking bribes. Of course, there are worse crimes. I mean, you could be an atheist.
Pardon?
Well, you know, when the mayor was going on last night about how he consults God about municipal issues, I was skeptical. But since I've gained a much deeper understanding of his munificence. Say, what's it like to be a non-believer?
Bad! Very, very bad. Especially for one such as I, whose faith is so deep, albeit private, that if you were to inquire around town about it, you wouldn't find any evidence at all.
Well, you are a churchgoer, aren't you?
Church, mass, communion, confession.
Confession? What do you have to confess about?
Nothing! I do volunteer confessing for those who can't make it to confession.
I didn't realize you're so spiritual.
Spiritual? Why? I have visions! Can't see my hand in front of my face through all the stigmata. As a matter of fact, this money might have come from heaven itself. Miracles do happen, you know. Loaves, fishes, white rubles.
So you think I should keep it?
I think it would be a sin not to. Well, it's been an honor to pass a time with someone who shares my strongly held yet quietly expressed religious convictions, but I must go see if my crucifix has been repaired.
Oh yeah, go and sin no more.
Praise be, the Lord is good.
Well, God helps those who help themselves. But he particularly helps those who put 200 rubles in the collection plate.
More new friends. Don't tell me, you take care of the school for the athletes and you run the hospital for the little people.
And this, of course, is our good doctor.
How are those tiny tots today?
Children seek no more. Keys up and about.
Wonderful, doctor, but something's dawned on me. All of your patients are children, so what happens to the adult population when they get sick?
It don't have a chance.
The good doctor jests, employing the mordant sense of humor that characterizes the caring profession. The doctor's got to come speak. The innkeeper's wife is in labor.
The cow is going to have baby.
You know, I must say I envy you fellows. You both have the jobs that allow you to spend time with the type of person I most like to spend time with myself.
Children and sick people?
Oh no, nurses and young teachers. Now, tell me true, who do you like more, the blondes or the brunettes?
I'm a school principal.
You get the pick of the yard then. Now tell me true, what do you like more, the golden or the brown?
If I refuse to answer, I've insulted him. But if I tell the truth, I'll have to put myself on administrative leave. With pay.
Ah, I see. You don't want to say anything in front of a Mr. Muskrat Head.
I'm a woman!
Hey, I'm not saying I wouldn't find it hard to be myself if I lived in a town like this. People might think I was peculiar. And I suppose I am peculiar, but that's just because of the way I look and how I act. Say, do you guys have money you can loan me?
Well, what a coincidence. I happen to have 300 rubles right here I was going to use on anesthetic and chloroform for the winter, but let's just cross our fingers and hope for the best.
Mine 300 rubles just to buy new books for the school board meeting. But they can burn the old books just as easy.
Gentlemen, you and your institutions have been very kind. If I ever have a child with a sports-related injury, I hope it's in this town.
We haven't met. I'm Spankin, the postmaster. Now I know you've chatted with my colleagues, the hospital director and his little friend, the doctor, and my associate, the school principal. Although I must tell you, he is growing revolutionaries in that school of his. Huh. If they could read, there'd be trouble. The judge, well, you wouldn't believe it to look at him, but Dobchinski, a chubby landowner, every time Dobchinski leaves his farm, the judge goes to visit his wife, all 9 of their children, dead ringers for the judge. Even the females. If there weren't already so many bearded fat girls in town, they'd stand out.
I'm really sorry to interrupt, but do you have 300 rubles you can lend me?
Oh, why look, a letter and it's for you. Its contents neatly bound and in non-sequential serial numbers.
You and I should keep in touch. Give me your name and address and I'll write to you shortly.
Oh, write anyone a letter and put in a P.S. I'll get it. Hello! It's us!
Oh gosh, you both got them now. Can't tell you apart again.
Oh, that's easy. I'm Peter Ivanovich. And I'm Peter
That's
Ivanovich.
fantastic. But you guys have money you can loan me? It'll be 300 each or 600 for the two of you.
Here's mine. Here's mine here. Your Excellency, I'd like to ask your assistance in a delicate matter. See, our firstborn was conceived in love, but born out of wedlock. The little fellow doesn't legally have my name. I would be ever so grateful if you could see your way to grant the particulars of his birth and special dispensation. This is his picture.
Hey, that's the judge. Mint of benevolent for God to grant you a son that fat.
He's so talented. He's only 10 years old, and he can whittle anything out of a block of wood. Unless it's larger than the block.
I mean, if there's anything I can do.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Blessings on you. I, too, have a small request. When you return to the capital and you're in one of your soirees with Master Pushkin in the Tsar, could you, if you think it's proper, if it crosses your mind, could you say, you know, I was in such and such a town not long ago, and in that town there lived a man named Peter Ivanovich Dobchinski.
And
That's it.
so just say your name.
Out loud, in the capital. It doesn't have to be the full name. It doesn't even have to be in your home. It could be in a dark alley late at night when no one's around. I wrote it down in case you forget how to pronounce it.
Oh, Peter.
Don't waste it. Wait until the time is right. Blessings, Excellency. And thanks, and blessings, and forgive us for our existence.
What did I say last night? I think I confessed that I was some official bigwig. It's a good thing I've been writing down all of my thoughts along the journey. It's great material for Tryapitchkin. He loves writing in that newspaper of his in the column. I better write it down while it's still fresh.
What do you think you're doing?
Writing down my thoughts.
That shouldn't take long.
Hey, why have you brought the bags?
Coach leaves in 20 minutes. We're going to Serta.
Oh no, I like it here. People give me things and smile when they see me.
But what happens when they find out you're not the person they think you are?
Why would they find out?
Because they're not as stupid as they look.
Meaning...
They're stupid, but not as stupid as they look.
But I've got it down to a science now. I was able to reduce the time it took to get their money from 3 minutes to 26 seconds. I could teach.
Master.
Besides, the mayor's daughter's been throwing me contemptuous sneers and, you know what that means.
She has contempt for you?
Do you know how many women I've had on this trip?
You haven't had a single woman that didn't involve the exchanging money.
Are you saying those women paid to sleep with me?
It's like talking to meat! I'm saying no woman in this house will give you a toss.
All right, how much you willing to bet?
I'm saying no woman who's the mayor's wife or the mayor's daughter will give you a toss.
Okay.
How much money do you got there?
Oh, that? That's just 2,000 rubles. With that, I can make good of my debts, repay my father, and be no longer the gambling wastrel who loses everything in one cut of the cards.
Double or nothing?
Done.
And I have proof by the time we leave.
You'll have it in hand. Now I must finish off this letter and try a pitch.
Sorry, Excellency. Some rabble are trying to get to see you. A few moments and we'll have them on the run.
Rabble, eh? The material for try pitching. Bring them forth.
But the mayor ordered me to keep them out.
My order is to let them in.
Well, I cannot help my nature. Right! All of you come in and start complaining at once!
Please, I am Magdalene, spokesman for the merchants of the town who have come to you about the mayor.
What's he done to you?
What hasn't he? Everything to him is his. Can be food, can be wine, can be little tiny things. No one even knows what they are. They're so small. Still he takes them and never pays.
On his birthday, the mayor makes us keep our shops open all hours till he cleans us out. Twice in the calendar he does this.
Wait, he has 2 birthdays?
Yeah, he thinks we don't notice. We worked it out that he's 112 years old.
Why don't you guys just refuse?
Refuse the mayor? If you hesitate to do exactly what he says, he'll close you down, impound your goods, and billet soldiers in your house.
Last winter, my wife and children slept on a cold floor while a fat sergeant stored away my bed with his boots on.
Wait, so where did you sleep?
With the sergeant, but that's not why I'm complaining.
What about you women?
Excellency, sir, I was first. No, you weren't. My life's worse than yours. I have a husband.
Enough! You.
Excellency, I'm the locksmith's wife, complaining on behalf of my husband, the locksmith.
Why does the locksmith come to complain for himself?
He's gone to the front. The mayor drafted him into the army when it wasn't his turn.
Well, whose turn was it?
The tailor's
This
son.
is slander.
Yes, your son! Your drunken son! Your drunken, sworn son! But the tailor gives the mayor a new hat and a new sword, so the mayor moves on to the next name, the draper's son.
That's enough now.
But the draper gives the mayor's wife 3 bolts of linen, so the mayor moves on to the next name. Mayor says, your husband's old, he's no use to you anymore. I say, my husband was no use to me when he was young. Still, I'm used to him. I beg the mayor, what can I do to change your mind? Mayor says, what else do you have? I say, all I have is my husband. So he takes him.
Well, you can't draft a married man unless there's extenuating circumstances.
He said my husband was a thief.
Well, was he?
He said he had thieving tendencies, called it preventive conscription.
Right, what about you?
I'm the corporal's widow.
The one who flogs herself.
That's what the mayor says. It was market day, and I was standing near the butcher's stall when this woman smells her meat and yells, this meat's rotten.
My meat was good. It's her nose that's rotten.
The butcher starts to shout for the constables. The woman runs off. They grab me instead and start to flog. They say confess. I say no. They throw me out of my house. Say confess. I say no. They throw me into a jail. Say confess. Still, I will not confess that I was the one who complained about the meat.
Because you have such self-respect.
Because I'm a vegetarian.
Well, see, all these types of things is something that can get a man sent to Siberia.
What? Yes.
The rack, the boot in the face, the torture chamber, the scaffold, all these things get the mayor sent to
Siberia!
Oh, I didn't actually
You
say.
have the mayor dead in torture? God bless you, Excellency. Here, take our things.
cash and merchandise.
And now for another request.
You sure you want to stay? If I have to, I'll walk to Serotonin. Here, mail this to try pitching at your earliest convenience.
Right. Remember, double or nothing. Proof in hand.
Well, hello there. Whenever I'm in your presence, I sense a splish of excitement, a splash of expectation, a succumb of fear and trembling. But tremble not, I might just hold the key to quell your qualms.
Trust me, you don't have my qualm key.
Come on, tell me you like me a little.
Let me put it this way. If you didn't exist, I wouldn't make you up.
There must be something I can say, something I can do.
Last night you said you were a poet.
Oh yeah, among my many other talents.
I'd like you to compose a poem. About me. Now, out loud, off the top of your head.
I see, sort of a stream of type of thing. We'll give it a shot. Oh.
And it has to rhyme.
Oh.
With my name, Maria Antonovna Shavaznik-Dvokanovsky.
Have you met Maria? If you have not, I bet you are sorry, haven't.
To music.
Oh, I do not mean to hurry ya. But there is nary a woman quite so fair as Maria. Not Natasha, or Vasha, or Varya.
Country.
Just Maria, oh my Maria. Oh, how I wish I knew an aria from an opera, a leopard is a paria.
Haraya.
Isaiah, for Maya.
Maria!
Oh, Maria, have you met Maria? Maria, the mayor's daughter, when she reads Eugene Onegin, she'll really have you begging.
Ballad.
Maria, I pray I can carry you over the threshold of love. Her eyes sparkle bright as a glittering star. She'll turn any head from a serf to a czar. For you I would even give up my cigar. For I love you, darling Maria.
Rap.
Yo, hey, if I had my fella like I'd show you how much I like ya. And if I'm to rhyme, Shrivas and Vachanovsky wait 50 short years for a guy named Tchaikovsky. For I love you, darling. Maria, I've just met a girl named Maria.
Oh, I love you! I've loved you since that moment last night when you turned red, then white, then green. Oh, my darling, I must give myself to your voice! It's Mama. I'll meet you down the lane, at the fountain, near the church, behind the chapel wall. From there we'll make our escape. I will treat you to every delight.
Down the lane, at the church, near the fountain, behind the chapel wall. But wait, give me a keepsake until we meet again.
A keepsake?
Yes, like that sash around your waist. I love that sash. I'd like to be that sash. To have and to hold, and if the sash slips a few inches, I mean, that's what sashes do.
Here, study its way.
What is the meaning of this?
We're engaged!
What?
Engaged! Oh, he loves me, Mama! He wants me to go with him to Petersburg, and I know it's all very sudden, but it's what you always said you wanted from me, and surely you always mean what you say.
Daughter, please remove yourself to the parlor while I chat with your Amanarado.
Sit.
being out here for so long. It is a rare experience to chat with someone of such wit and intellectuality.
Out here so long.
You didn't think I was from this backwater, did you? No, I come from a different world. Mine was a very cultured upbringing. We had a book. And my mother whistled. Yeah, you know what? I should be very cross with you. How dare you flirt with me and then make love to my daughter in my own house?
Well, my house was too far away.
Maria must have had charms her mother missed.
Well, see, Maria was like you in so many ways.
Is she like me like this?
I think the back of my throat's been punctured.
I dance on! Oh! I'll pretend you're going through with the marriage for Maria, but say your business out of town and have to leave immediately. I will meet you below the oak tree at the church at the lane in the end behind the inn.
Below the big oak tree, at the church in the lane behind the inn.
This will take us to St. Petersburg and beyond.
This bearskin rug?
It's where Anton keeps his bribes. He thinks I don't know.
How do you find out?
Anton was out of town. I was alone. There was a bear.
Give me a keepsake until we meet again.
Oh, to take my garter.
What does the arrow mean?
Think of it as a road sign.
Where are you?
I'm ready.
They're cheats, the peasants are scum, and those complaining women are women. We're all beat out malcontents who just can't get up in the morning without trying to tear down the powerful and good-looking.
I don't disagree in the least.
But the whole town is saying I'm being sentenced to immediate execution, followed by hard labor with no chance of parole.
A mere ruse, my friend. That is, unless you dread the notion of me marrying your daughter.
What?
Yes, I'm asking for Maria's hand in wedded bliss.
Have you ever talked to Maria?
Oh yes, we've spoken long and learned what lies below. And in 2 weeks, we'll be at the altar in St. Petersburg at the annual induction of the Governor General. Governor General father-in-law to be.
Ha! I knew it! Those were the secret instructions Himkov wrote about. He came to make me district governor. Governor General Anton Antonovich Voznik Dumahanovsky.
Of course, this must be kept under wraps. We wouldn't want any of the less fortunate mayors to find out.
No, of course. Hush, hush.
You can't turn down his request for my hand in marriage, now can you, Papa?
Give your consent or I'll shoot. You have no one to convince but your Tsar and yourself.
No, not before you make me up! May God take you and bless you both.
The coach leaves in 2 minutes.
Your Excellency is leaving.
Oh, business of the utmost national secrecy. But in 2 days I'll come back to claim my bride. Osip.
Master, I have a new level of respect for you.
Meaning?
I have respect for you.
My constables are posted at every road. Here's a pass to feed you all safely out of town.
Thank you.
Won't you be cold in that awful public coach?
He won't take the awful public coach. He'll take our troika.
Horses too?
All 6 of them. Bring them back with you the day after tomorrow.
Oh, still, he should have a blanket. Oh, what about this bear skin?
No, not the rug!
You don't want your future son-in-law catching lint. Die, yay! Before making his daily report to the Tsar, do you?
No, but unless let me beat it out for you first.
No time. Maria, Mama, Mayor, my family. I must go now, but know this. Although I'm leaving, I'll be thinking of you in every part of my journey. including the part past the big oak fountain where the chapel bend rounds the inn. Something like that. And, sir, on that day we make good your newly exalted position. Remember well why you were chosen, because your leadership and this town represent everything our country is, at this moment in history, all about.
Farewell, au revoir. Remember me.
Bring back the bear! Grusha, I have some great news. The inspector has made me Governor General of the entire province. It's a big secret, so please pass it around.
He said it was to be kept under wraps.
What's the point of having something you can rub in people's faces if you don't do a little rubbing? Governor General. Wife of the Governor General. Daughter of the Governor General. Father-in-law of the Tsar's Imperial Inspector, and Papa of the wife of who they're out. Hooray for the mayor! Hooray for the mayor! He's gone up in the world, and the rest of you are down there. Come on, woman! Dance!
Don, you're crushing my muscle.
Crush it! Rip it! Tear it off! You won't be wearing those dirty old rags in the capital anymore. We'll change our names. We'll change our accents. When we talk about the provinces, we'll say, yes, we still have some relatives who live in those god-forsaken mud dumps. But we were enlightened and came here to the city. We'll say we miss the pace of small town life and its values and traditions. But in private, we'll thank God that we never have to come back to this inbred hick town again.
Weakling, congratulations are in order.
You heard?
Oh, we were the first.
News of such momentousness spreads fast.
Puppin, no biter man.
Thank you.
Fat son of a beach.
What, you have to repeat everything I say now?
Glory be to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I prayed for this outcome. Huzzah, the heavens on high.
You seem disproportionately tickled by all of this.
Oh, my encounter with His Excellency and the Inspector has changed me. Very soon I expect to be taken to rapture.
Yeah? Get in line.
We just heard. Tell us how he proposed. Oh, his knees, hands clasped, eyes pleading. He threatened to shoot himself with his gun.
A gun?
Nothing says love like a gun.
And then he gave us the big news.
Maria's pregnant?
No! Maria's father is to be made Governor General of the whole province.
Oh, good for the mayor. Felicitations on your good fortune. Whip me.
People, townsfolk, please, please. I know you've all come here today to congratulate me on this great and good fortune. And the right and proper thing to do would be to stand here and tell you it isn't me who deserves this honor, but rather all of you, the people of this town who have made it possible. But I am not that kind of person. I know each one of you mouth-breathing bastards have tried to do me and my new son-in-law from the moment he came into town, and I want you all to stew and worry and know that while I'm in Petersburg kissing the Tsar, I'll be planning how to send you sniveling little rats to Siberia without a trace of you left in the mud and roll. Beg, please, please. You all wanted me dead and in prison? Well, the shoe's on the other hand now.
Everyone, I have grave news. The government inspector we took for whom we thought he was isn't whom we thought at all. What?
Repeat that.
The visitor, the fellow from the city. He's no inspector or important government person. Why? Because he finds me attractive?
Yeah, I don't find her attractive. Doesn't make me a fake.
I opened his letter. I was on my way to the post office not 10 minutes ago when that servant of his runs by and shouts, "Hey, mailman, I was going to send this from Saratov and see if you can get it in the last bag to Petersburg." And he tosses me this. I only read the first paragraph, but it sends the message. My dear Tryapitchkin, you will last recall when we exchanged letters that I'd just been fired from my position as clerk to the assistant, associate, undersecretary to the second subcommittee of the Department of Bureaus. I have been drinking and whoring around the countryside, staying at this pigsty of an inn, when a cavalry captain cleaned me out of my last kopeck. I was left penniless, bereft, near the point of suicide. God, he really makes you feel like you're right there with him. When what happened but a miracle? A mayor who shall be nameless, but whom I'll call Mayor Idiot.
He didn't write that.
Oh, he did. He wrote it right here.
No, he didn't write Mayor Idiots.
Trust me, I read people's mail for a living. It says, idiots.
Here now, I am the mayor.
Mayor Idiot, who fell over himself giving me money, bowing, scraping, and groveling like an old doorman.
That's a private joke. My mayor's uniform, he and I would josh the how anyone else it would look like.
An old doorman, which he looked like even without the uniform. But I suppose he couldn't afford a Mayor the Clown costume. The whole town took turns bribing me, feeding me, and making me drink a local wine derived from straining a rotten egg through a dead man's liver. It's hard to tell who was the worst, but the post...
What?
The post what? What? The post-war period has been a very difficult time for all of us.
Me, that. But the postmaster wins for being the most repellent and the least fragrant. She opens everyone's mail and thinks she's some kind of power broker, but she reminds me of an old gossip woman with no friends and a bad smell she can't tell is coming from her. Oh. And as for the hospital, well, the rest is really local color.
Oh, no, you don't.
As for the hospital director, the only mystery about this vile, greasy, pockmarked rodent is why she drags this incomprehensible physician around with her wherever she goes. All I can assume is that the two are bound together by some horrible secret passion.
Whoa!
What is tattoo?
Not here.
Then we have the school principal, who is so stupid, he wouldn't know I was making fun of him if he was reading this letter out loud. Why are you all laughing?
Let me see that.
You. Nothing about me.
Oh, page 2. How repulsive is the judge? A pompous gas bag, so afraid of being found out, he practically baptized himself before my very eyes. 1 more minute, and he would have claimed he held Christ's coat at the crucifixion.
Blasphemy!
And this blasphemy from a man who bangs his gavel on every rump from farm to farm. Farm? Which farm?
Let me see that! It's evidence!
So now I must go try a pitchkin. For I have to bang the mayor's wife to win a bet. Which shouldn't be hard, since she keeps offering up her flaccid old teats like she's a waitress on ham day. As for the mayor's daughter, she talks like she wears a chastity belt, but acts like she knows a lot of locksmiths. And blacksmiths. So try a pitchkin. Do you think you can make something fun out of this? Write me at my father's hovel in Saratov.
Well, frankly, I'm hurt. How come he left us out? How could we have been so confused?
Were we really so naive and unintelligent?
I knew he was safe from first.
How?
His servant told me. Pillow talk.
I've been in politics for 30 years now, and never once has someone gotten the better of me. Not a merchant, not a bureaucrat, not even an Italian. How did I let one little boneless non-entity get the best of me? Am I dead? Is this hell? It must be. Hell is knowing what other people thought of you when you thought they thought well.
Is my engagement off?
And my daughter's an idiot. Stands the reason. She's the daughter of Mayor Idiot. But she can't be all idiot. She's also her mother's daughter. So half idiot, half bluesy.
Don't say anything you'll regret!
I already regret everything I've ever said and done. I mean, what's left? What's left? Wait. I overlooked one thing. We are going to be in the news. Our names will be read on every rag in Petersburg.
Will our names be read out loud?
We'll be famous. We'll use phrases such as, "Why, look at that idiot. He's such an idiot. He's a mayor's idiot kind of idiot." And, "Stop reading that letter, you stupid postmaster." Years from now, they'll all be laughing. Oh, how they'll laugh. But the ones who laugh the most will really be laughing at themselves. So, someone must pay for this.
Yes.
Who can we blame?
We can't just blame someone.
Of course you can blame someone. That's what people are for.
Well, who started it all in the first place?
It was these two.
Yes, the fat boy and his fat friend.
No, we just heard there was an inspector in. And when we saw him at the end, we naturally assumed.
When you assume, you make an ass out of you and you.
It all started with the two chubby ones, waddling around and spurting out their little squeaks and bubbles.
You're nosy, neurotic.
And there are two of you, and you're identical, and you're not even related.
Kill them and use their fat for winter!
What's that?
The inspector authorized by the imperial government requests your immediate presence in his quarters at the inn.
The government inspector? He's arrived.
No, sir. He's been here incognito for 3 months.
Your government, ladies and gentlemen, sends its regards. To the Tsar!
Thank you.